Haunted houses are universally appealing. Anyone keen on a few harmless scares gets a rush from their simulated danger. McKamey Manor in Summertown, Tennessee, however, may have crossed the line. Russ McKamey's haunted house requires both a doctor's note and a signature on a 40-page waiver to enter. McKamey even originally offered a $20,000 prize for completing the challenge, but not a single person ever succeeded in winning it. Most lasted just a few minutes before begging to leave. I personally would not call it a haunted house, more like a pay to torture me experience. If you like true stories of the macabre, strange, and paranormal, then please click on that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you can be notified every time a new episode of Grim Events is uploaded. Without further ado, I give you the true story of McKamey Manor. McKamey Manor is the brainchild of Russ McKamey, a former Navy seaman turned wedding singer turned haunted house enthusiast. He started his haunted house in San Diego before pulling up stakes and moving his operation to Tennessee. There, he offers guests an all-immersive, extreme haunted house experience. For the price of a bag of dog food, McKamey is an animal lover with 5 dogs. Guests can try to endure the McKamey Manor experience. There are a couple of ground rules, however. All participants must be at least 21 years old, or 18 with parental approval, complete a physical, pass a background check, be screened by Facebook, FaceTime, or phone, have proof of medical insurance, and pass a drug test. Participants must also sign a 40-page legal waiver. But this isn't just any legal waiver. It's packed with possible scenarios that range from pulling out someone's teeth to shaving their head or having their fingers shoved in mousetraps. Though participants can choose 2 out of more than 100 that they want to avoid, everything else is fair game. For some, that's enough to back out of the challenge right away. Braver souls are allowed to proceed, but most don't make it very far into McKamey Manor. In fact, most last an average of only 8 minutes before begging for it to stop. Those 8 minutes have convinced thousands of people that Russ McKamey isn't running a haunted house at all. They claim that he's created a torture chamber. According to a Change.org petition with more than 180,000 signatures, McKamey Manor is a torture chamber under disguise. Calling McKamey Manor torture porn and a shame to all haunted houses, the petition claims that participants have suffered sexual assault, injections with drugs, and extreme physical harm. Russ McKamey, the petition claims, uses loopholes to get out of being arrested, and one man was tortured so badly that he passed out multiple times. Workers only stopped because they thought they had killed him. Indeed, a number of people have gone public with their terrifying experiences in McKamey Manor. Laura Hertz Brotherton, who went through McKamey's San Diego haunted house, claims that the experience sent her to the hospital. She arrived covered in bruises with scratches inside her mouth from actors fishhooking her cheeks. Brotherton says actors blindfolded her with duct tape, submerged her by the ankles in water, and buried her alive with only a few straws to breathe through. Other participants describe being forced to eat their own vomit, having their faces shoved in rancid water, and being locked in coffins with insects and spiders. It's literally just a kidnapping and torture house, argues the petition. Some people have had to seek professional psychiatric help and medical care for extreme injuries. But Russ McKamey says that the backlash has all been blown out of proportion. Russ McKamey might accept that he's created the scariest haunted house in America, maybe even the scariest haunted house in the world, but he denied that McKamey Manor is anything but an extreme haunted house. It's certainly not any kind of torture chamber, he says. I'm a very straight-laced conservative guy, but here I run this crazy haunted house that people think is this torture factory, fetish factory, McKamey complained. That's simply not the case, he said. McKamey even got rid of the $20,000 prize because it was attracting, quote, the crazy ones. Still, he said, you'd be surprised over the years how many people have claimed something happened to them inside. That's why McKamey tapes every single participant and uploads the videos on YouTube. When people complain about something that happened to them, he merely hands them the unedited footage and says, here you go, here's the complete show. From his perspective, McKamey is simply a good creative director. He claims to tailor each show around everyone's individual fears. He insists that countless participants have been fooled into thinking something happened that never actually did. When I use hypnosis, I can put you in a kiddie pool, a couple of inches of water, and tell you there's a great white shark in there, and you're going to think that there's a shark in there, McKamey said. And so, when you have that kind of power over people, all you have to do is see things that you want them to see, and they can leave here thinking it really happened. They'll go to the authorities and say, oh, whatever, and I have to come back and show them the footage and say, it didn't go that way at all. The videos have saved me 1,000 times. That said, McKamey had adjusted his haunted house just a little. He currently offers a descent experience, which is 6 hours long. People can actually make it through. It's not as rough as some of them are, he said. In the end, McKamey claims that his haunted house is all smoke and mirrors. Mere suggestion is often enough to scare people, and sometimes convince them that something happened that didn't. It's a mental game, McKamey insisted. It's really me against them. Real or not, it seems inevitable that McKamey Manor will continue to draw guests. Considered one of the world's scariest haunted houses, it's a magnet for endurance junkies and horror aficionados. So, what did you guys think? Would you pay a bag of dog food to experience this? Or do you believe that it needs to be shut down? If you haven't already, you need to check out the videos on YouTube. Just type in McKamey Manor and you'll find a slew of them. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day.